All right. We are back live with the Blame Girl podcast with
Mr. Terry Wayne.
And we got Thom Chamberlain in the house. What's up, Thom?
Not too much. How's everyone doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. I'm down here at the Dania Improv yet again, about to do a roast battle.
Very nice.
How was your weekend?
It was a good weekend. I did a show in Wilton Manors
Nice.
for Don't Tell Comedy, and that was a lot of fun. It was like 80 people. It was a good room. It was a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. And then Sunday, I actually got to host a Don't Tell show, which was so much fun. I was really grateful for the opportunity. Shout out to Dean Roshdi.
Yeah.
That was a great opportunity, really fun. And they're really cool shows. Yeah.
I've gotten to do one Don't Tell show with Minda. I think she does it more north, but I mean, those shows, all of them look really fun. So
yeah, they're fun for sure. But other than that, it was my sister's birthday. So we hung out, we got some dinner, and just kept it low key.
Terry, how was your weekend?
Pretty good. I did a cleanse. No alcohol, no.
A cleanse, you say?
Yeah, no alcohol, no weed.
Wow.
And then recorded a couple episodes for the other podcasts.
Are you pregnant?
Yeah, I was like, who hurt you?
No, I needed it. Sometimes you got to get the junk out, you know?
Yeah, good tolerance breaks.
Exactly. And as anybody who knows me knows, I do love the booze. So it's a good thing I'm actually still on it, if you can't tell.
Nice. You're still cleansing.
Yep. Still cleansing. Gonna do we're doing 20 days. So
together.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Which is gonna be hard because my brother-in-law is throwing a huge 4th of July party this Saturday. So
I think y'all can do it.
Well, we'll see. We'll see if we get through. She's not doing it. I'm just doing it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see if I can make it through.
Terry just got married within the last year, so and him and his wife, they moved to Tennessee. So I guess wifey's not cleansing, so that confirms that they are not pregnant. But he is. So all right.
Yeah, still debatable.
But yeah, and then recorded a couple of episodes for the other podcast, which is the Worst Ones podcast on Spotify. And I think that's
y'all are all doing it.
What do you mean?
The cleanse.
No, just me. What is it?
Okay. I don't know why I tied it in with the worst ones for some reason.
That's just that. Yeah. No.
Are y'all worshiping Christ?
No, that was just my weekend. Was suffering with that, just drinking bone broth and not eating, and not
not alcoholing.
Oh, you didn't eat either?
No,
fun stuff. I'm sure
a true cleanse you don't eat. So
okay,
no
I didn't know that.
Does that mean wait at all? Like you're fasting or you're not?
Yeah, it's a fast too.
Oh, damn! How long is that?
I'm planning on 20 days.
Wait, are you still starving?
Yeah. In more ways than one. I'm starving right now.
What are you doing? Why are you doing this?
Because it's super, super good for you.
We had to clear everything up, and now we're like, Terry he's starving himself.
Y'all. No, I'm not. I'm fasting. There's a difference. I'm still taking vitamins. I'm still taking all my vitamins, and I'm drinking bone broth. So no solid foods.
Okay. So he's still nourishing his body.
I wonder. I can't wait to see you on the other side.
I've done it before because my father has been a preacher my whole life. So once a year he does a fasting for religious purposes. The longest he's gone is 30 days. So yeah.
You told me about this. Are you back on Christ? or
No.
what? Like,
No. It has nothing to do with that. This has to do with health and well-being, and any doctor
don't
will
sound
tell
healthy.
you.
Don't sound healthy.
Any doctor will tell you that clearing the system out for 5 to 10 days is great for you. Now, pushing it to 20 might be ill-advised, but
I'm gonna ask Mindy. I've never heard that.
If
5
he
to
can
10
do,
days of
if he can
starving
do
yourself.
30, if he can do 30, I can do 20. So
yeah,
but no, it is. I've actually asked my doctor about it. They recommended it. They said, well, they were like, look, you've probably been drinking too much and eating too much garbage. That's why you're feeling the way you're feeling.
But you can stop drinking and not stop eating, right, Thom?
Oh, sure. Yeah. But it's just not it's not as beneficial.
I have to agree there. I don't know if I could do it for more than a day, but yeah, I think there's some benefits there.
Yeah.
But man, I
can
love
see
food.
the not drinking. I can see the not drinking for 20 days, but that after that, you got me. Like, I'm probably gonna do other stuff like smoke weed and
if I crack on something, it's probably gonna be the weed.
Oh, okay.
Not a terrible
thing.
Then
that'll make you hungry.
Yeah. Yeah, but see, that's the problem. Then I'll get hungry and then I'll want to eat again. So but yeah, I've done it before, and just you see the results. Your skin gets better.
Weird. But I'm gonna just say this, and I want to get into blaming because I'm blame girl. I like to blame. But today I've been taking like probiotics, right? And today I noticed that I was not hungry. Like, I didn't eat lunch. So maybe taking vitamins like helps. Satisfy whatever. I don't know, but I think it's weird that you're not eating for 30 days.
Well, the probiotics great for your gut health. It really is. It can change the the hormonal balance in your.
No, I know. I'm gassy. Yeah. I know I need to be taking them.
Well, I'm also you don't eat for a week. It's fine.
What
you
were you saying,
for
Thom?
a week. You see the results in your toilet.
What were you saying, Thom?
I was saying there's not a lot of nutritional value in most food anyway. So, when we eat it, like they say, I watched this like documentary on like a water sommelier, and he was talking about how like zero filtered water is actually really shitty for you, because if there's no minerals in there, it'll start to take the minerals from your organs. And actually do more harm than good.
In your body it will. Wow.
Yeah, because like the water like has to have these like little minerals in it when it's passing through you, so it'll take it from your organs if it doesn't. So lots of shit is missing from the stuff we drink and eat.
Can I ask you to turn your phone sideways?
Yes.
But yeah, I wasn't trying to be gross. I'm just saying by day 5, when everything in the toilet
is you don't have to repeat it because
when everything in the toilet is black and you're like, oh my God, that came out of me.
All right. Stop.
Hey, better out than in.
Okay, right? Terry, stop doing crappy material.
It's not material.
Literally. Yeah.
Okay. Are we ready to do some blaming, guys?
Yeah,
I bet you
Absolutely.
guys.
All right. The federal court in Northern Florida says that we cannot ban drag shows here. Who's to blame, guys?
Who's to blame for not banning drag shows?
Yeah. Who's to blame for not being able to ban the drag shows?
I guess in this instance, it's probably this judge, but I don't know how long it'll hold for. It's just like another loophole.
No, it's Florida. It's Florida.
No, I know, but I'm saying Tennessee's to blame. That's who's to blame, because they were the first one that started this, and then DeSantis looked at it and went, "Oh, that's a good idea." You know what I mean?
That'll get me.
But we already talked about this a couple weeks ago, how a federal judge threw down the one in Tennessee too. And they're going to keep doing this. I put this article in the show only because I wanted to ask the question, why anyone in Florida who's in politics would want, other than political posturing, would want to ban drag shows. That's half the economy of South Beach. You know what I mean?
It's to win votes of the rest of Florida. That's not South Beach. I think who's to blame here? And Thom, just so you know, you can make jokes. You don't have to be literal. You can be literal. I'm going to be literal. The judge was a Clinton appointee. So I think that we had that on our side. But the case is appealable, and the Supreme Court is not packed with Clinton appointees, is all I'm saying.
It doesn't matter because the federal judge that struck down the Tennessee law was a Trump appointee. So
that's right. That's right.
If it's against the Constitution, it's against the Constitution. They can't just start rubbing stuff off because they're on the Supreme Court. They be doing it though.
It seems like they are.
They did it with Roe versus Wade, but then they struck down everything else.
And what I thought was interesting in this case was that there were 3 cases that this MF DeSantis fucking brought to try to get these drag shows banned. And this was the 3rd one to get struck down. And it's because you're trying to violate constitutional rights. And most judges worth their own weight won't let you do that. If DeSantis appointed them, maybe we'd have some trouble, but he's not in the federal system, thank God, yet. So we're lucky there.
Well, even if you appoint judges that lean one way or the other, there are still rules that they have to abide by, lest they might lose their seat. Judges can get thrown off the bench just as quickly as any politician can get impeached.
Yeah.
I mean, that rarely happens. They all seem to stick up for each other when the comes down to the final hour. They'll always defend each other, and it doesn't matter what side of the aisle they're on.
Well, I would like to think that, I mean, you're right.
Not always.
Well, politically, I think
outside
Tom's
right. Marjorie Taylor Greene, if they're on the other side of the aisle, but for the most part, those moderates will defend each other to the day they are out.
And not to mention, any federal judge who has gotten to that level obviously has enough sense in their head to know that if you start rubbing things out of the Constitution and you start making legal precedent for what you can and can't do, that's going to be used against you as soon as the wind blows the other way.
Yeah, definitely.
And 100%.
Right.
They just had this happen with the Supreme Court because remember the Democrats, because of all the stolen seats on the Supreme Court, the Democrats, the Republicans were worried the Democrats would just enlarge the Supreme Court to balance it out and then appoint 3 new judges. But then they said, no, we don't want to do that because the next time the Republicans in power, they're going to do the same thing. And next thing you know, it gets out of hand and the Supreme Court's 40 people, Yeah. It doesn't work. And they know it. It's all posturing. Nobody cares about drag shows. Nobody actually cares about drag shows.
You look like you had something to add, Thom. What were you gonna say?
Me? No. I just agreed that it's just a bunch of I don't know, theater, political theater. Yeah.
The banning of the drag shows, the throwing the books out. That's all posture. All posture. Right. I agree with that.
100%.
Right. You know what else might be a little bit of posturing, guys?
What's that?
Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg are gonna fight.
God.
Yeah, I feel the same exact way. She put this one.
Posturing.
I wish they would. Here? I think the people are for breathing any life into this ridiculous feud. I really wish they would fight each other. So one of them, I don't know, just want one of them knocked out. And I feel like you have to have the legal and financial backing to hit another billionaire. Like you can't just be some schmuck on the street and you can slap Elon Musk. You have to be Mark Zuckerberg.
There. You were almost there, man. Let's just have them box each other in Vegas and put it on pay-per-view. I can't imagine anybody in the world that wouldn't watch that. Watch 2 billionaire nerds fight.
And they would get so much money from it.
Well, not that they need the money.
Exactly. That's what's so annoying. I say put a knife in the ring. I don't know.
That might be a bridge too far.
One knife. Just one knife.
No, that's a bridge too far.
But, well,
No,
whatever.
you put it on pay-per-view.
I think it's...
You put it in Vegas, you put it on pay-per-view. You get Joe Rogan to be the ref, or the...
I think it's just a pissing contest.
Oh, for sure.
It's just a pissing contest amongst billionaires, But the thing about it is, a billionaire pissing contest isn't usually physical. It's usually like a spending of the wealth, right? But now they want to get into a cage match. Who's not going to watch that? Like, they're devolving to our level, and I want to see it. Well,
that's that great Michael. That's that great Michael Che joke when because Elon Musk was had a little feud with Jeff Bezos, and his joke was Jeff Bezos is spending $500 million to build a new super yacht, and Elon Musk is spending $600 million to on a new iceberg.
Yeah. See, that's a billionaire's feud, like it's not like this. So
that's like comic book level feud, though.
When I saw it, I did not believe it. I was like, okay. And then I saw it again and I was like, yo, this can't be real. And then I found out it was fucking real. And I was like, so just to give everybody a little backstory, I know we dove into that pretty quick. Is that Zuckerberg, okay, I'll read it straight from the article in NBC News. Facebook, which was Zuckerberg's follow-up to a girl rating website, started in his Harvard dorm room, as we all know. Twitter became a competitor, and then, as we know, Elon Musk bought it, right? And Mark Zuckerberg said Elon Musk was not sane. And Elon Musk did a laughy face, and then he said, I'm up for a cage match, which is what a not sane person would probably do. And then Zuck agreed. So I guess he's also not sane. Right?
Oh, how can you be sane?
You I don't know. You can't get to where they are and be not insane.
Exactly. Zuckerberg's the idea of the website being based on rating girls, insane. I'm a girl. That's why it's insane to me. Maybe not to you boys, but that was wild. I was like, oh my God, that's so mean. How could someone do that? But then it developed into what it is today.
Mark Zuckerberg still has a website where you go and rate girls. It's called Instagram.
Yeah. The rating has a little heart next to it.
Exactly. No, it's got a little thing that says followers on it. That's how you know. Yeah. But I mean, you got $50 billion and you're still working. Yeah, you are crazy. But hey, I am thankful that they are at least taking it out on each other, because when you have three people with that much wealth, they're bickering back and forth. I'd rather it be with the other billionaires and not with us, the regular folks, because they could just decide one day, you know what, I'm going to buy all the shoes in the world. No shoes for anybody this year. And they could do it, so.
Yeah. Be an insane use of money.
Okay. We just established that they're insane.
Yeah.
I mean, insane use of the money.
Yeah.
Going around these days is all I'm saying. Titanic.
Well, they got enough money. They could literally destroy the world if they wanted to.
And they could literally repair the world. But what do
they
choose?
Could save it too.
They choose the cage match.
By literal violence.
Can y'all at least donate the proceeds from the cage match that we all pay to watch back to us? Like, give us health care. Like,
no, donate it to some environmental cause.
Environmental, that too.
Yeah. It'll just go to the CEO of that environmental cause.
It'll go to the CEO. ironically, the CEO of that environmental cause probably thinks that Black people should be thankful that slavery was ended, right? That's what white people are saying now in Texas.
In Texas, of course, it's in Texas.
Terry, I'll let you talk about this story. You go ahead.
Let's clarify one thing. This was a man who, on Juneteenth, which was last Monday, he called into a C-SPAN show that was dedicated to Juneteenth, and he was an open Republican from Texas, and he said, I don't understand why Black people the Black community doesn't thank the white community more for ending slavery.
Mm.
And what else did Greg Abbott say, Terry?
This wasn't Greg Abbott, but it could have been. You never know. No, but that blew me away, just that thought process, because it's like somebody comes into your house and just rips up and tears everything down and then gives you money to repair it all and goes, thank you. Come on, where's the thank you? Right. It's like we did it and then we stopped it. And it's like
fucking nerd, right?
Yeah.
Thom, what do you think about this shit? Like, tell me.
Well, I agree in the sense that I feel like more girlfriends should have thanked me for not committing domestic violence, Obviously, I'm being sarcastic here. This is absurd. It's so stupid. But I'm not shocked by any of it. I feel like I'm desensitized to the just, I don't know, that's just unfathomable. It's like getting inside the mind of a dog. I don't know how someone can come to that conclusion.
He says, okay, I'm gonna read the quote, the conclusion. This is how he came to the conclusion. I haven't heard any Black person say thank you to the over 300,000 white men who died to free those Black slaves. A man who called himself Dave said during Monday's call-in program, more than 592,000 people died in the American Civil War, including 334,000 Union soldiers. All right. And then more than 178,000 African American soldiers died. But he said he has not heard one white Democrat apologize for slavery, and that his ancestors were from Scotland and Ireland and never owned slaves. So he's not, clearly not going to be apologetic for slavery, but he wants us to be thankful and grateful that we were freed. Wow.
That's crazy. Because it's like it's a one-way street. Like, he doesn't want to apologize for slavery because I'm sure his excuse is that was 300 years ago. But he wants people to thank him for ending slavery as if their response should be, that was 300 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same, but it's different for him because it benefits him. And that's just how they think.
And what's crazy, Thom, is there's still like a segment of America that doesn't seem to understand who even won the Civil War. Like,
they understand who won it. They just don't understand why we fought it. They keep going with this states' rights nonsense.
Rights. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you should
rights to have slavery.
Yes, exactly. You should explain. Well, no, because the South also fought against the state rights of some northern states. So it's really more about having the right states' rights and not the wrong states' rights. So.
But this is where this circular thought comes from.
I can't believe that this was ever really even an argument, because literally just look up the Declaration of Independence that the Southern, the Confederacy, they had their own Declaration of Independence, right? You have to have one. So they have their own one. And guess what it says in the very second line? It says the southern states of the Confederacy assert of the superiority of the white man to the Negro, and that slavery is an inherent and God-given right. So, there's really not a huge argument here. It's not a gray area.
No.
So, but
right and wrong.
Yeah, as soon as somebody starts saying states' rights, I'm like, all right, you obviously have just watched Fox News and not learned anything on your own.
I thought it was really. Go ahead, Thom.
I was just gonna say I love the argument of it's a heritage or it's a culture to display the Confederate flag, but it inherently is the most anti-American flag that you could.
It's a treasonous flag,
which is 100%. And they're just like, no, it's about like mud and like drinking beer and listening to country music.
Well, that is the culture.
Yeah, within the last maybe 50 years, sure, but it goes further back, and it's to that. It's that there's a group of states that do not want to be a United States. They want to be a confederacy, independent of each other.
They wanted to break up. And then, but the thing is, what do you do? Like, you break up and you're still fucking 200 years behind everyone else in the world. Like, is that what you really want? I really don't understand it, because everybody else in the world has moved on. Like, no one else has slavery. Like, just blatantly. I mean, yeah, there's slavery that goes on, like, where people,
trafficked,
human trafficking, but
yes, actually, there's more slavery in the world now than there's ever been in human history. But no, to that point, forget the flag. There are U.S. Armed Forces bases named after generals for the Confederacy.
Yeah,
literal traitors to the United States,
anti-American heroes.
And now, when you go into the armed services, they make you swear an allegiance to the United States of America to defend against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And then you walk into your base named after General Lee. Like, it's insane. It's insane. It's like, shouldn't I be defending against this domestic?
I know.
That's the first thing. And then I love just to lighten it up a little on the slavery thing. I love the Louis C.K. joke where he says, I love when white people say that, like, every year that we don't have slavery, they add 100 years to how long ago slavery was. They're like, oh, slavery was 400 years ago. No, it was 150 years ago. That's two 70-year-old ladies back to back.
Yeah.
Living and dying.
Yeah.
And then it's not like slavery ended and then everything was awesome for Black people.
Yeah.
It's just,
I mean, that's what Juneteenth is about, is they didn't find out until it was 1856, something like that.
No, it was 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation that they found out. And that's fucking wild. Yeah.
Well, it doesn't even
but that's wild to us because our communication is instant. And that's why, like, last week I did a joke because it was Juneteenth. I performed here. I did a joke about Juneteenth. And Jason, if you're listening, here's a joke for you. Imagine if Juneteenth was nowadays, right? Abraham Lincoln goes and he posts about the Emancipation Proclamation. First comment's gonna be like, turn up. It's gonna be me. It's gonna be me. And then the second comment's gonna be like, fake news. Third comment's gonna be like, Lincoln has dementia. And then the Emancipation Proclamation never happens. All right, I'm done.
Well, just
that could have happened back then too.
there is no better example of how much white people want to forget that slavery ever happened and absolve themselves of any guilt that they have for their ancestors than Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Oh yeah.
Seriously, but here's the thing. I was smart and I listened in school, and
they did not teach you that in school, bitch.
That's what I'm saying. I was smart and I listened in school, and I learned about that like 5 years ago. And I'm 40, I was like, I am 42. They wouldn't. They did not teach about that at all.
They didn't teach you about MOVE in Baltimore, where they blew up those people or burned up those people.
My dad told me when I was like in elementary school about the Tulsa one, not about the Baltimore one.
But, they dropped bombs on.
That's cool that your dad actually taught you history like that. Wow. How old are you?
34.
Oh, wow.
Well,
I'm
you know what's
impressed.
bananas? You know what's bananas about the Baltimore one where they dropped the bombs on them? The news footage of that is in color.
It's
in
That's
color,
how
which means
recent it was.
Yeah.
And then people be
that's what I'm
like,
saying.
black folks are okay. Let me just stop.
That was like
okay.
50 years ago.
Speaking of black folks being equal, y'all, Jonathan Majors. Okay.
I love this one.
As you may know, we've been talking about, I think we brought this up on this podcast before, when Jonathan Majors was arrested for assaulting his girlfriend, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Many people jumped on the bandwagon, as well as myself, that maybe he abused his girlfriend. We believed the woman. And it turns out that in this case, maybe we should not have. Terry, do you want to elaborate?
Oh, yes, I would love to elaborate on this. I'm so excited. Because not only does this have racial elements, which I know you love, but it also has misogynistic, anti-misogynistic, feminist layers to it. But it also has police abuse, and it has how cancel culture goes wrong, and especially the overreach of police powers, which is the thing I am against across the board the most. So if you don't know, Jonathan Majors, as she said, he was accused of domestic violence against his girlfriend. Turns out, though, when the police got there, they found her alone in his apartment when they had a fight. They were dating. They had a fight. He went and stayed at a hotel. She stayed at his penthouse apartment. The police came and found her. Their body cam footage, however, kind of sealed their fate, because their body cam footage, according to his defense attorney, says that they asked her 19 times how she hurt herself or how she was injured. And she said, I don't know, every single time. And then the police stepped in and coerced her. And again, on video, coercing her into saying, oh, he must have done this to you. You don't understand. He must have done this to you. You probably were just drunk and he did this to you. He's like, how else would this man have this apartment? You know? Yeah, exactly. Because they didn't recognize him as a major celebrity.
Right. And just the correlation that makes he has a nice apartment in black. He must beat his girlfriend.
Yeah, you can't be a young, swole black man and have a penthouse apartment. But here's the cherry. The cherry on top for this is how much Jonathan Majors outsmarted the NYPD, because he knew he was innocent. He knew there was evidence, and then the judge tried to dismiss the charges, and he objected through his attorney and said, "No, I want this to go to trial. I want this to go to trial. I want everyone to see this footage. I want everyone to see his attorney, Disney,
which is what you should do if you're
actually
innocent, you know."
Well, they were all in on it, I think, because his attorneys, Disney, Marvel, all the major studios he works for and is contracted to, nobody said dick until now when they got to review the evidence. Now they said they want to go to trial. I think it's brilliant. I mean, it's 4D chess, man.
This is what I think. I think it's a tough call, because I honestly don't think in this case he abused her. She said he didn't. But it was weird with the text messages that were released and his past history, right? Like, he has this past history of being a fucking asshole. And maybe he is, but that doesn't mean he beat his woman.
I've been an asshole. I've never hit a woman.
Right. A lot of actors are also assholes, and he's a good one. So
yeah, and it's okay to be an asshole.
It goes with a little insanity, also, I think.
But it's like more believable that an asshole would beat his girlfriend, right? I think.
For sure.
No, I think you just want it more. I think people want an asshole.
I don't want that. I don't want men to be beating on women.
No,
I say women to be falsely accusing men. I don't want that.
No. I didn't say that. What I said was, I think people want an asshole to be guilty. They want them to get punished just because they don't like them.
Mm-hmm.
I've been on the other side of that. So
I think it was the same way with the cops. I felt like they were instantly comparing themselves to Jonathan Majors, and just decided that he was the domestic abuser.
Maybe they were just jealous. Well, they're profiling.
I think
they were profiling for sure. Yeah. I mean, otherwise, they wouldn't try to convince her to testify.
Yeah.
But
this was it was a good one because I had to go back and I had to watch I did a TikTok about this and I had to go back and watch it to see like, what did I say? Do I need to retract my statements? But I didn't.
Well, here's the thing about it. One, I believe,
oh my God.
I know it goes state by
my
state.
competitors here.
I know it goes state by state, but I believe that in a lot of states, when you're accused of domestic battery or domestic violence, your accusations, your charges come from the state, not the person. So even if the person recants their story and says, no, I don't want to press charges, it doesn't matter. It's on the state now because there was too many, what do they call them? A battered woman syndrome, where they would just continue to stay in
and they'd be like, okay, I'm fine. And then they really didn't need to do that. So
right. Which if that's the case for New York, fucking brilliant of this guy to keep his mouth shut and just let it unfold, because now it's against the state. You know what I mean? Now there's legal options after this, civil options against them and the cops and everything else. So good.
Right.
So
and and it's an incentive for them to do better and be better as NYPD cops. That's lazy cop work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is lazy cop work, but it's almost like expected of NYPD or police generally.
That's right.
Police in general, yeah.
And on that note, abolish qualified immunity across the board.
Absolutely.
Federally. Get rid of it. If you're held accountable and can
that'll
be
make
held
them
accountable,
a little bit more responsible when they're fucking taking away our fucking civil rights, right?
You would second think your actions if the guy that you got your knee on his neck, if he could take your house and ruin you financially.
Just support candidates that will do that, but people won't because they want to support candidates that ban drag shows. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, with that said, let's go ahead and move on and get a little funny. I want to introduce the BlameGirl crew to Thom Chamberlain.
How's it going?
He's a comedian in South Florida. Welcome, Thom. How you doing?
It's really good to be here. Thank you guys for having me. It's going pretty well.
So how long have you been doing comedy?
We're in June now, so a year and 2 months.
Okay. How did you get your start?
I started, an ex-girlfriend of mine and some friends from high school bought me some courses to take at Villain Theater.
At Villain Theater, okay.
In Little Haiti. And so I took one improv course, but I really just wanted to get to the stand-up course. It's not something that I would have bought on my own, but since they bought it for me, I used it. And I just started hitting up. When I graduated in early May from that course, I just started hitting up open mics 3 to 4 times a night, and now I'm here.
Wow. And you already have a room, which we'll talk about later, but we'll get there. Okay. So that's crazy. You. So you said a year and 2 months?
Yeah. A little change.
So since you've been doing it, I know you said you started at Villain Theater. What has become your favorite venue? And you cannot say the Improvs. You're on mute, Terry.
I actually haven't performed at any improv yet. Like I haven't performed at Miami or Dania. But favorite venue, I mean, there's like a lot of bar shows in Miami, which is predominantly where I'm at.
I mean, you can say Villain. We get a lot of Villain Theater.
Villain is a great one. People go there to see comedy, which is really nice. Like it's really good for knowing which jokes work or not, because like they're ready to laugh. If you're not making them laugh, it's because your joke sucks, and you need to work on it.
Yeah.
I loved.
But if you're, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing with you. I said our show, we had a tour that went down there, and I got the headline there, and it was great. It was 50 minutes, and it was awesome, and they loved it. Love that spot.
Yeah.
And by the way,
it's a good spot. I haven't
you.
been in forever, but I don't know like who's doing the booking. I was there a lot back when Anastasia was still running shows, but
that's beyond my time.
Well, let me commend Thom on not going to the improvs right out of the gate, like so many people does. It's such a mistake. I made it myself.
Really?
I went to the improv like 2 months after I started. I wasn't ready for it, and I didn't make a good impression. And so many people do it, but there's been a handful of people who said, "No, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait till I feel like I'm good enough to go." And that's a really, really good decision.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Kudos.
When are you going to try it out?
I suppose soon. Yeah, I mean, I want to perform everywhere. Like I want people to see me. Like I want to make people laugh. So I'll do it in a porta potty if you know. So it's on my horizon for sure.
Yeah.
I definitely want to meet the people there. I've met a few people that work there.
I feel like I ran into you. Well, we were outside the improv, but the last time I saw you was here at 14 North. You performed here, so
yeah.
All right.
So
since you've been doing comedy, have you traveled at all?
No, not yet. I mean, for comedy, I mean, I guess no. Period. I haven't traveled since I started comedy. Because if I did, I would do mics wherever I went. I'm an addict, so
same.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing it?
A year and 2 months. Terry already told us.
A year and 2 months.
Well, I know. I just couldn't remember. Yeah, you're still definitely in the addict phase. Like, just 4 or 5 nights a week if you can, no problem.
Yeah.
Just where's that? Give me another fix.
So since you've been doing it, what has been your favorite moments doing comedy, or most memorable, most favorite?
I think and this is I mean, whatever. It's a total, I go on stage to get recognized, so this is not too far off. Getting recognized off the stage a few times has been really nice.
That is nice.
I feel like that hasn't happened to me, but go on. I'm sorry, not to take away from your moment.
No,
sorry. I've been doing this 5 years and nobody's recognized. Go ahead, Thom. That must be awesome. No,
it was. Well, it made it especially. I think it was like the first or second time that it happened. I was hanging out with a super hot woman, and this Jaden Smith looking dude, like kind of like sideswiped. He like came out of nowhere and he was like, "Hey, like I'm sorry to bother you, but I've seen you a few times at like comedy mics and you're so funny. Like keep doing your thing." And I was just like, "Wow, thank you so much." I like almost asked him for a picture and I was like, "I'm gonna shut up."
That's good.
I've seen that happen. Where comics and somebody recognizes a comic and say, "Let's take a picture," and then they post it online and say, "Somebody just recognized me. This guy did."
And then you're posting their picture.
Yeah, the one that Ridiculous Nick did that, and I totally remembered as soon as you said it.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah. So Thom, it's an exciting thing when it happens the first time.
It is.
What's been your biggest challenge doing comedy?
I think there's and it hasn't happened a lot, and that's why I have to like really search to answer this one. And I would say that the only thing that's really come up is that like sometimes comics in this community from either side of the community or either side of the spectrum of the community will try and kind of like elude who I should and should not work with. And I always appreciate the where that notion comes from. You know, I like to think that it comes from a good place. But yeah, other people's personal drama with another person, and they try to make it your personal drama.
100%. You are 100% right.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm here to make people laugh.
If you're trying to be professional, that should you should be able to work with people you shouldn't be maybe hanging out with, but you got to work with who you work with. You know what I'm saying?
In the last, we've been doing this podcast for 3 years now. And in those 3 years, it has happened 2 times that I know of where somebody said, don't go on that show. Because of whatever reason.
Did you go on it?
No. They said, don't come on this show. On this BlameGirl podcast, where people have told me, they said, oh, they told you not to go on that. It's not because of you. It's always because of me, Gio.
Of course. No,
I used to
like she's like, I didn't think any differently.
There's plenty of people that don't like me. It's fine.
I used to have a bit of a reputation. You either loved me or you hated me, but that's just the way it
And I'm the girl Terry Wayne. So hi.
Yeah. So, it is what it is. You got to take.
Thom, do you like Terry?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Like, I'm just fucking with y'all. What do you think about Terry? No.
I was like, I've never even met him.
I know, right?
This is the first time.
What'd you hear? What did you hear about Terry? No,
probably
I'm just
nothing.
kidding.
Yeah, probably nothing.
Did someone tell you not to come on this pod? No, I'm just kidding.
I'm also still very fresh. So I know that there's people that have like done other things since before I started, and sometimes they come back, and like all the comics local comics that I like, they're like they'll be talking to someone. I'm like, oh, like who is that? And they're like, oh, that's this comic. They've been doing it for this long, but they left or something, and they came back, and it's just good to have them back. So I'm still meeting people all the time.
Well,
that's gonna happen.
The thing about comedy in general, in stand-up comedy communities, not just this one. I've been to many stand-up circuits around the country, and there's one thing all of them has in common. Okay, it attracts really great people to a stand-up scene. Just the industry does, but it also attracts really bad people. So I've had people start rumors. I've had people try to blackball me. I've had people get involved in my personal relationships. I mean, some of these people, when they get offended about something you've done or said, or the way you acted, or just sometimes even just based on your reputation, their reactions can be a little out of pocket. Like
they lose reason sometimes.
Yeah, take it down a bit. Don't direct message my dad, just because you didn't like something that I said. And that did happen once.
Unhinged, yes.
Yeah, that's a little unhinged. You're taking it too far now.
So
real.
Yeah. I want to know more about you, Thom, as a human being. Is that better, Terry? Like, where are you from? Do you have a day job? Do you have any family? What other projects are you working on?
Okay, well, I guess we'll start in order. I'm originally from Miami, born here. And
Florida man.
I've been to, it, can't you tell?
You look like a Florida man.
My mom is Portuguese from Portugal, but she was born in colonial Angola. And then she came to the States in the 70s, and met my dad in DC, and then they came here, and that's when they had my sister and myself. And I've been, I don't know, just kind of floating around through life. I've been a high school teacher, an electrician, and a weed man. And that's what I am again. I work part-time at a dispensary. And
I was going to say medically, or you just, undercover?
They got some good benefits, I bet.
Okay.
The insane employee discount. It's wild.
I kind of need an electrician, and my boy Thom is not coming through, so I don't know what to do.
Well,
Carried and moved.
Done it in like
Thom does fire sprinklers, but anyway.
But he can hook up my anyway.
It's funny. It's funny how many teachers have joined you're probably, I don't know, the 15th, 16th teacher I know that has started to do stand-up comedy.
Shocked by that at all. Yeah.
Well, it's one of the biggest professions that transition to stand-up is like lawyers and teachers.
Yeah. That's where I got all my stage time in.
Lawyers, not so many.
Right. Or were they roasting you? Because I know that's how I felt when I was a teacher.
Mm-mm.
They were fucking roasting me.
I was roasting.
Well,
them
let's say
100%.
it right out of the gate. Let's say it right out of the gate. The majority of people, by the lion's share, I mean, don't really have careers, and that's why they come into stand-up comedy because they're looking for something.
We've got that thing going on again. Okay, are y'all ready for the blame game?
Yep.
I'm ready. I'm so ready.
All right. If you can hear me out here, Thom, this is for you.
Mhm.
You are prepared for poverty. Who's to blame?
Politicians and corporations, or they're the same thing. But yes,
that's a smart guy. I get it. We're all probably going to be poor eventually because they're taking all the money. And there's really nothing we can do about it. So no, I get it.
They're making laws that that prevent us from doing it.
That's right. You know what? We just decided now that we got all the money that nobody's allowed to make more than $500,000. But it starts now that we have it all. So you know what? You know what's funny?
I know that mindset.
You know what it's funny is when because I think about that a lot too. It's so funny you brought it up. I think about that a lot too. And it's like, I always go to like that Fight Club speech. And it's like, I know you have the power. I know you have the money, but we're the ones that cook your meals. We're the ones that drive your ambulances. We're the ones that guard you while you sleep. You know what I mean? So there is hope there because there is somebody. You can't oppress. It's not like going to be Egypt anymore where we're going to build your pyramids for you. You know what I mean? It's not going to work like that anymore because the guys holding the whips are going to be poor too. You know what I mean? So I envision more of a French Revolution style, more like
that would be lovely.
They're going to say, let them eat cake. And then we're going to be on the National Mall with a guillotine. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I've said it for 20 years. Burn it down and start over.
Start fresh.
I gotta say, I feel that energy. I've always secretly planned out homeless meals. If I'm ever homeless, I'll beg for money on the street and eat bananas to sustain my, figure it out. But what y'all are saying also appeals me. I shouldn't have to do that. You know what? We all deserve the summer.
Yeah,
we all deserve the summer. I want to.
We used to have it even up to the 80s. I mean, there's a very popular classic comedy movie called National Lampoon's Vacation that talked about because it was so fucking
vacation. Even if I ain't got a family, I want to be able to take.
But that's what I'm saying. It was so culturally relevant back then that a studio said, "Yeah, we'll make a movie about that because everyone will understand because we all go on 2-week family vacations."
Right.
I want to be able to go to Europe and stay where there's a pool and concierge. We all deserve that. What were you saying?
That's a good plan. Well,
I read somewhere that peasants had more days off than we do now.
Well, that's true.
Peasants 14th century peasants.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Well, that's true.
We all know how that went.
Will you send me that? I want to see. I want to read that. All right.
I'll find it again.
Thom, do you have anything coming up? You want to give out your projects? I know you are producing a show. You want to give out your social medias. The time is now.
Okay, cool. My social media pretty much everywhere is tomfoolery or some variation of tomfoolery. My Instagram is THOMPHOOLERY. So it's it's a funny thing. But I host a room in Wynwood on Wednesdays now. We're switching to Wednesdays starting July. It's a lot of fun. It's getting bigger. People are going there. We actually beat the Heat game a couple of weeks ago. I had 30 people in there and they were there to see comedy and not watch the Heat game. It was beautiful.
That can't be too hard in Wynwood. You know what I mean?
You would be everywhere. It's so hard because when the only time Miamians care about the NBA is when the Heat are in there. It's the only time they care about the Heat.
And they were this year, huh?
No, they care about the parties that come along with it.
For sure. That's a lot of paella,
All right.
Um,
As I said before, Thom, you're white, so you want to stick around for these words for white people. Terry is explaining to white people. It is time. Go ahead, Terry.
Explain it to me.
Oh, okay. This week we are talking about mistakes. That's the theme of this week. Mistakes.
I'm familiar.
Okay. I have made mistakes in my life, and sometimes I have tried to ignore them, and I have tried to cover them up. I think we all have, maybe we wake up late and then we call in sick when we're not sick. Maybe, we hit somebody's car in the parking lot and we just pretend it didn't happen. Well, some mistakes like that are easy to get away from, and some of them are easy to, in your own conscious, just ignore. And that's okay, I guess. But some mistakes you should probably try and address and change. And that's what I feel like when I see people that are far to the right on the GOP side. And specifically, I had this thought because I was watching a segment on Carrie Lake out in Arizona. You might remember her. She ran for governor and was defeated last year. But ever since she lost that election, she has been going around saying that it was fraudulent and that the state election board members are blah, blah. Well, now it turns out that she's now being sued by state officials for what do they call it? The defamation. And so she's probably going to end up, and considering that she's lost all 4 court cases, she's probably going to end up losing this suit as well. And look, I understand that maybe if you're a conservative, if you're just a moderate Republican, how you got caught up in all this, new Trumpism over the last 8 years, and, how everything was kind of a whirlwind. I know. I've been there before. As we've talked about before, I used to be a Republican for like 10 years. Until everything started going crazy. And then I realized I had made a mistake. So I became an independent and I changed. So don't be like Carrie Lake. Don't be like Rudy Giuliani. Don't be like Fox News and all these other people being sued and they're having their businesses and their lives ruined because you just got to dig your heels in and hold your guns up and say, I'm going to die on this hill. Learn from your mistakes and try to be better next time. Maybe go back to just being like a Reagan Republican, which I still don't agree with, but the man won 49 states. So you can't really argue with that. Maybe, just maybe being liked by a majority of voters is enough to get you into office, and you don't have to go crazy. I know it worked for Trump, but it's not going to work for you. And I'd love to see regular old Reagan Republicans coming back, talking about anti-abortion stuff and smaller government and less spending. And that would be really great. And not only that, I think it would be great for the country. And I disagree with people when they say we can't go back. I think we can. But it's only after some people say, yes, I got too ripped up, got too enthralled with the whole showmanship of it and all these charismatic candidates. And if you will just admit that mistake, I think everyone else will be willing to forgive you and say, okay, go back to being smaller government people, go back to not treading on you, just the regular old garden variety politics instead of this absolute circus that American politics has become.
All right. What's interesting as you were talking about this and you're like, just admit your mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, and I do know why. I thought about the Titanic Discovery mission because I bet he was a Republican. I bet because he wouldn't admit his mistakes. Like he just went down there with a fucked up tube and killed all these people. But anyway, so that's what that made me think of.
I think the mistake was going down there.
Well, it was defective. It was a defective.
Well, I'm just saying, like they have shipwrecks. You want to see a shipwreck? Go to the Keys. They got them all over the place, man.
It's not
you
the
can
Titanic, though.
You can snorkel to them. It's fine.
And not another one where this guy fucking made a mistake. He just race towards the fucking iceberg instead of slowing down. Anyway, all right, guys. Thom, do you have any words in rebuttal of Terry Wayne's words for white people?
To rebuke, no. I think that we're pretty aligned. I think that this is really an example of what we've been talking about, where there are people who still cling to the Confederacy. It's like a refusal to lose, which is, I mean, I think it's because white people have been enabled most of like modern human history to believe that they're exceptional in some way. And now, since, at least in this country, since civil rights, white people have had to compete with other races like Black people on a more level playing field. Not saying that it's completely level, but it's a more level playing field. And they're mad that they're not on top every time.
Yeah, they are. I agree with that.
I'll say this, being from the deep South, I can tell you it is very much a cultural thing to never admit defeat. They consider it to be a noble thing. No,
I think that's a man thing. I don't even think that's a cultural thing.
Well, it's a patriarchal thing for sure.
Yeah. It's definitely a patriarchal thing. But to that, I say, look at the Japanese. If they wouldn't have admitted defeat, we would have destroyed the planet in World War II.
So. And we'll land on that, guys. I gotta get going because I gotta practice before I go fucking do this roast battle.
One more. Don't forget to buy the book on Amazon. It's Unclaimed Ashes. It's available right now.
I was gonna give you the opportunity.
Okay.
Thom,
you sound like you were signing off.
When's your next show, Thom?
I think on Thursday. No, Wednesday.
Where can people come see you?
They can come see me at Savage Labs in Wynwood.
Drop that social one more time.
It's Thom Foolery, ThomPhoolery. Find me at Savage Labs, Wynwood, or at Villain Theater, or find me at a Don't Tell comedy show.
All right. Thank you. We're taking next week off. I'm actually going to be in LA. I have a show tonight here at the 14 North doing the roast battle, but next Monday I am at the State Social House in West Hollywood. So check me out.
Very cool.
And you can get on there too, Thom. Just all you got to do is fly out there. Trust me, you can get on a show, no problem. They're all over the place. Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. Thank you guys.
See y'all later.